Um, Let me introduce myself. Okay, actually, my name is Fo Ereragea, but my parents and friends call me Ramos. So you can call me Fo or Ramos, it's up to you. And I'm from Indonesian Christian Church, Gersik, East Java. And I'm not a pastor, not yet. I am a prospective pastor. And well, I feel this is truly an amazing experience to meet you, even though only via Zoom. And in this section, we will talk about theology of the body, incarnational, multidimensional, relational, vulnerable, flourishing, and maybe some of us don't know this yet, but don't worry, you will find out soon enough because the speaker is a professor, and trust me, he's so amazing. His name is Mr. Yoas Adipastia, and let me introduce him a little. Mr. Yoas Adipastia is a pastor from Indonesian Christian Church Pondok Indah, Jakarta, and he is also a lecturer at Jakarta Theological Seminary. And of course, he was my lecturer when I studied at Jakarta Theological Seminary. Hopefully, Pastor Yoas still remember me. Hopefully. And Pastor Yoas will talk for 30 minutes, and then we will enter into Q&A section. If you have a question, for all of you in Zoom, you can send your question via chat, specifically to Christina. Okay, and all of you in YouTube, you can send your chat to Keke with the format name underscore church or community underscore question. For example, Ramos underscore GK Gersik underscore what what is mean by incarnation, for example, yeah, and then please make concise and clear questions, and please not speeches, okay, because we only have 40 minutes. Okay, guys, if you agree, give a thumbs up. Okay, yeah, well, I think all of you agree. So, Mr. Yoas, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, please, Mr. Yoas.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ramos, for your generous introduction. And good morning, everybody, and good afternoon, good evening for those who live on the other side of the globe. Thank you so much. Allow me to can the host give me access to share my screen, please? Martin or whoever. Hello? I cannot share my screen actually. Okay. No, I need to. Okay, yeah. Can you see my screen, everybody? Okay. Okay, let me start with the story. On May the 20th, 2016, 4 years ago, I posted on my Facebook wall a photo which was taken in Damascus in 89. It depicts a very moving story of friendship between two friends, two persons with disabilities from two different faiths. Samir was a Christian dwarf, a little guy who lived for many years with his Muslim blind friend Muhammad. And this is the picture. It shows Muhammad carrying Samir because Samir was dependent on Muhammad to move as much as Muhammad being dependent on Samir to navigate him. These two disabled persons lived together in the same room for years, and their friendship lasted until for years until one day Samir died. And Muhammad was now alone. He wept for weeks before finally he died from sadness and loss. And what surprised me was that this picture on my Facebook was liked by more than 48,000 people and shared by about 3,000 people around the world. It really tells me that that people everywhere are really longing for an authentic friendship. People are looking for the answer to the question of how we humans can live in fullness and how we can flourish in spite of and precisely in the midst of our brokenness and vulnerability that we experience in and through our body. So that is exactly the question that I am asking, and I want to answer in this presentation. So in this keynote session, I am going to share with you why it is very important to have a clear theological understanding of our body as the site of experiencing our vulnerability, our fragility, our flourishing. We can only live our lives in the world through our body in relation to God and all creation. And because I have a very limited time, my strategy is to set out only 5 theological principles so that you can see the flow and also the structure of my theology of the body. So, okay, let's start. The first one is that the Christian faith is centered on the story of God revealing God's self through the incarnation of Jesus Christ in the power of the Spirit. This is the first principle. We always think that there are many teachings or doctrines in Christianity, but basically, you know that in the Christian faith, the Trinity and incarnation of Jesus Christ, the Son of God becoming human, are the only 2 dogmas in Christianity upon which all other doctrines are interpreted and taught. So, as long as you hold these 2 doctrines, main doctrines, the Trinity and the Incarnation, then you can interpret all other doctrines correctly. For example, the doctrines of salvation, of the church, of human being, of the sin, and so forth and so forth. Thus, we cannot relate ourselves to God apart from the Son, Jesus Christ, who incarnated in human flesh, becoming like everybody else here. That is precisely the meaning of incarnation. That theological word derives from 2 Latin words, in, meaning in, and carnis, meaning the flesh. So incarnation means into the flesh. And how is it possible that the infinite God now present in the incarnate Christ? It is because the power of the Spirit. So since then, we can say that the incarnation of the Son becoming the human being is so central in our faith that we can find the origin, meaning, and also the destiny of our lives as human beings in Christ, the God human. You might remember, Pilate pointing out his finger to Jesus Christ in John chapter 19, verse 5. And he said, here is the man, behold the man. In Latin, it means ecce homo, behold the man. And Pilate was right. Look at the Jesus, the man. And we can find the meaning of our life. We can find who we are in him. Okay? That's the first principle why the body is so important in the theological perspective in Christian faith, because God becomes human in Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the first one. The second principle that I want to share with you is that since humanity and all creation are created in Christ, the image of God, we believe that every human being, you and I, is both an embodied spirit and inspirited body. Let me repeat. Because we believe in Christ, God becoming human, then we have to think of human being as both an embodied spirit and inspirited body. In bahasa Indonesia, kita adalah roh yang menubuh dan tubuh yang meroh. We are therefore a multidimensional unity. So let me explain a little bit about this. The Christian faith always struggle against any kind of dualism. Dualism is a broad idea that there are two opposing sides of everything. One is good while the other is bad. Light and darkness, male and female, beauty and the beast, God and Satan, black and white, spirit and body, etc., etc. So not only is this idea so latent in many religious traditions, including Christianity, but I believe it is also toxic in constructing our religious, socio-political discourse in our relationship with the other in our daily life. Why? Because it creates a binary thinking that fits us with an idea that because we belong to the good side, because we belong to God, then those who are not the same as us are evil. Because we belong to God, then they must be evil. So this is kind of binary thinking or dualism, and we can wrongly derive such ideas as like, because our spirit are from God, then our body are evil. Because the white people are the best, the chosen one, then the black bodies are bad, and it is okay to kill them. We are chosen people, and others are going to hell, and so forth. You can continue the list by using the same logics of dualism. But why we have to reject that kind of thinking? Because our basic understanding of human being is that we are a unified body and spirit. We are embodied spirit and inspirited body without being able to be separated. And we have so complex dimensions that have to be embraced, have to be respected and nurtured. We have to see ourselves as a hybrid creature. There is so much multiplicity within us, and all of them, all those dimensions are located in our bodies. We experience all those dimensions, those complex aspects of our life in and through our bodies. Therefore, we are called to celebrate our body, precisely because we believe in the incarnation of Christ. Human beings are a multidimensional unity, a hybrid being, multiplicity located in the body. It is within the body that you engage with your multiple identities. Each and every one of us embodies, our race, our faith, our sexual identity, our gender identity, our ethnicity, our class, our age, our disability, and so on and so on. All of those are constructed, not only given but also constructed into your life since you were born throughout your life until now and until you die. In other words, we are so complex yet beautiful. So celebrate your body, because then you can accept all those dimensions that God gave to you and how you construct and create yourself within your body. Okay, that is the second principle that I am sharing with you. The third one is, not only is our body and our life multidimensional, but it is also relational. So relation is the key word here. We are relational beings precisely because we have our identity in God's relational communion. Because we believe in the one God in three relational persons, and that human beings are created in the divine image, then we are also relational and communal beings. You know that in the Christian tradition, the three divine persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, are dwelling mutually among each other. Where there is the Father, there are also the Son and the Spirit. Where there is the Spirit, there are also the Son and the Father. And we are created in the image of such a triune God, which also makes us relational and communal. The logic is so simple: because God is relational and communal, then we are relational and communal. So if there is any dangerous word being frequently and popularly used in our daily discussion and discourse by Christians, to describe who we are, it would be the idea of individual. Don't use that word, because individual and person are two opposing concepts in the Christian faith. Individu dan pribadi. While individual implies self-sufficient, that I am sufficient, I don't need you, I don't need others, mind my own business, and therefore I am okay in my isolation. Persons, on the other hand, implies relation and mutual belonging. Thus, although grammatically incorrect, I could say not that I am, but I are. Because who I am is dependent on who you are and who we are. I am because of we are. I am because you are. That's the third principle, that every one of us is a relational and communal person. And that relationship is experienced precisely in our body. That's the third one. The fourth one is this one. Relationality entails vulnerability, and this is the most important point in my presentation. Vulnerability is the human condition. And theologians use the word homo vulnerabilis, vulnerable human being, that we have to recognize, accept, and celebrate. Vulnerability and disability are two different yet interrelated terms. So the theme of the session uses the word disability, but I rather use the term vulnerability because the two words are different even though they are interrelated. People with disability are certainly more vulnerable than people with no disability, especially in the time of pandemic like now. But vulnerability, refer more to the universal human condition. In other words, every one of us is vulnerable. Okay? If relationality is who we are as human beings, then such relationality entails common brokenness and common vulnerability. Your suffering, therefore, is also my suffering. The suffering of people of other faith in another part of the globe is our suffering in Indonesia or Myanmar or the Philippines and others. The painful cry of George Floyd in Minneapolis when he cried, "I can't breathe," because of the police brutality in Minneapolis, makes us unable to breathe our free humanity here in Asia. His death is also our death. When we listen to the vulnerable Sumbanese young girls who get kidnapped for, being forced to get married against their will, then their pains are also our pains. And certainly we can also broaden the perspective of vulnerability by including the groaning of all nature, begging us to stop, the ecological carnage. When we destroy our nature, we make the nature vulnerable, and their vulnerability is also our vulnerability. So when we read, for example, Psalm chapter 8, verse 4 or verse 5 in the Indonesian Bible, LAI, we find David the psalmist asking, "What are human beings?" And I would answer him, "We are vulnerable human beings." Such vulnerability is unavoidable precisely because we are relational. Because I relate to you, I become vulnerable. And because I cannot live without my relationship with others, then I have to live with my vulnerability. We are not only what, if you are familiar with Yuval Harari, a very popular writer, he wrote a book titled Homo Deus, meaning, divine human. We are not Homo Deus, okay? But we are also Homo vulnerabilis, vulnerable human being. Well, I'm intrigued by Strula Stalzat, who argue, and I will read what he wrote. The controversial part of this claim that we are Homo vulnerabilis is not that humans are vulnerable. That is simple, and that is a simple fact. But that this vulnerability is intrinsically good and could be a cause of joy. The vulnerability of human beings should be seen, promoted, and protected as a value. In other words, we have to say, thanks God, we are vulnerable. What we need is a society or community, including, our churches, which recognize the vulnerability of their members. And in Martha Nussbaum's word, we need to call for a society that acknowledges its own humanity and neither hides us from it or it from us. A society of citizens or a church who admit that they are needy and vulnerable, and who discard the grandiose demands for omnipotence and completeness that have been at the heart of so much human misery, both public and private. In other words, Martha Nussbaum is trying to say that why people are suffering precisely because we live in a society that demands us to be great, demands us to be perfect, demands us to be okay all the time. And I want to say to you now that it is okay not to be okay. It is okay to realize that you are a broken human being, that your body is vulnerable, that you are struggling with your disability, that you are imperfect. So from now on, maybe you want to add to your Instagram, uh, feed that something like a hashtag imperfect is perfect. Our perfection is found in God, and precisely because of that, we can celebrate our imperfection, our vulnerability. Okay? In other words, the more you avoid your vulnerability, the more you are going down into your misery. The more you accept that you are a broken human being, living with other vulnerable fellows, the more you can live humanly. And thus we come to the final point, the final principle, number 5. It is only within our vulnerable bodily self that we can flourish. I'm worried a little bit about some people who might assume that our human vulnerability is bad and therefore should be neglected or avoided if we want to live meaningfully or if we want to flourish in our life. To those who think so, I would say embrace and accept and celebrate your vulnerability, because your vulnerability is what makes you human and beautiful. We can only flourish as human beings, not in spite of, but precisely because of and in the midst of our vulnerability. In that context, allow me to say something about our general theme. Our general theme is falling up, or falling upward. This idea comes from Richard Rohr's book with the same title, Falling Upward, A Spirituality for the Two Halves of Life. Richard Rohr argues that every human being has two halves, of his or her lives. In the first half of life, you are devoted to establishing yourself. You focus on your career, on finding friends, and on making money and so forth, to get rich. But then you will get into a crisis of life, a kind of falling. At that point, you are pushed to realize that you are not as strong as you were thinking before. You are vulnerable. We cannot avoid the falling, but we can imitate Jesus himself, who was killed and descended into the death, but Christ then was resurrected and ascended into heaven, right? That is the second stage, the second half of our life. We are not falling down, but we are falling upward, because at that point we can and we are invited to live for others in meaningful ways possible, precisely in our body, in our vulnerable bodies. But please be careful not to think that by falling upward, you would escape your vulnerability. No. Rather, by embracing our humanity and our vulnerability, we flourish into our life in its fullness. We live for others, for our creation, for God. We are called to offer our brokenness and let God use it for beautifying our world. That is precisely the meaning of resilience. You are jumping back, still in your vulnerability, but then you are flourishing and you let God use your life to be blessings for others. Well, I would like to stop here by reminding you the story of Samir and Mohammed in the beginning of my presentation. They live in their disabilities until the end of their lives, together in friendship. They flourished together. They accepted their imperfection and brought it into the fullness of life. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be strong. You do not need to be normal in order to bless others. What you really need is to have compassion that flows through your vulnerability, your brokenness. And again, I would like to cite Martin Nussbaum, who says that in order for compassion to be present, the person must consider the suffering of another as a significant part of his or her own scheme of goals and ends. She must take that person's ill as affecting her own flourishing. In effect, she must make herself vulnerable in the person of another. So thank you so much and keep on keeping on. Thank you, Ramos.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Pastor Yoas, for your teaching. It's wonderful. And give applause for Pastor Yoas, guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now we will enter to Q&A section. I will open the first term, 3 questions. And wait a minute, I will check. Is there already a question? Okay. There is a question from Yosi to Mapel. Is the binary thinking about body and spirit is a consequences of Rome 8 that said flesh is sin? Okay, hello, Mr. Yoas, can you hear me?
How can I see the question in the chat? No.
Okay.
There's. Okay. Well, yeah. This is. Can I answer directly, or we collect all those questions, all other questions?
Oh, okay.
Up to you. Are we collecting questions, or I just answer now?
You can answer now.
Okay, thank you. Well, yeah, I have to tell you this background that the authors of the New Testament live in the time when, the philosophy of Plato is a philosopher living before Jesus Christ, is everywhere. Everyone knows the philosophy of Platonism. Platonism states that human beings are composed of 2 elements. One is the body, which is evil, which is bad, and the other is soul coming from God, entering the sinful body. Okay, that kind of dualism is rejected by Christianity, by the author of the New Testament. But strangely, the author of our Bible must use that kind of language in order to reject that philosophy behind the language. Okay, that's why Paul, for example, in many parts of his letters in Romans and Galatians, for example, he also employs that kind of language, dualistic language. The soul and the body, the flesh is sinful, and so forth. For example, let me read Galatians 5. I don't remember what you referred to, Romans, but let me refer to other part. The same. Galatians chapter 5. If you have your Bible right now, Galatians chapter 5, verses 16 to 17. It says, so I say, live by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature. For the sinful nature desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the sinful nature. They are in conflict with each other, so that you do not do what you want. Okay, but in the original manuscript, it uses the word flesh and spirit, as if the flesh and the spirit are in contrast to each other. Okay, but that is not what Paul wanted to say. In Paul's theology, a human being is a unified being, embodied spirit and inspirited body. When he said that we are under, the desire of the flesh, it means that the whole life, my whole life, is directed to something else than God. If he says that it is under the guidance of the Spirit, it is not talking about human spirit, but about God's Spirit. It means that my whole body, my whole life is directed to God. So whatever I experience, whatever aspect of my life is, either directed to God or directed to something else than God. In my completeness, in my entirety, in my unity. Okay? In other words, Paul is using the language of dualism in order to reject that kind of dualism and promoting, a kind of unified multidimensional unity, whatever. Yeah, that's what I can answer, Ramos.
Okay, that's the point. Is Paul is reject a dualism, right? Okay. Okay, then we have Christine from GK Tuban. If human is vulnerable and also relational human being, what is your opinion about people that can impact other people's suffering? Empathies. Mr. Yos, can you turn on your speaker?
Okay, empathize. Yeah.
Empathize. Sorry.
Can you repeat again the question, please?
Okay. If human is vulnerable and also relational human being, what is your opinion about people that can empathize other people's suffering?
Can or can? Cannot or can?
Cannot.
Oh, okay. Can. Well, yeah. The fact that some people, I think everybody can empathize to others. The problem is whether he or she will or will not. So this is not about the ability to empathize to others, but the willingness or the unwillingness to empathize, to give empathy to others. And the fact that some people are not willing to express their empathy to others also demonstrate their vulnerability. Okay, but then they treat their vulnerability in a wrong direction, which is to direct or to point everything else into themselves instead of to others. Okay, and that is the problem. And in so many writings, spiritual writings, it is called sin. So sin is not about we are separated from God only, but also that we focus everything in toward ourselves. Augustine, for example, says that sin is curvatus in se, curving into self. And if someone is living in that kind of way of life, then he or she cannot, express his or her empathy to others. That's the problem. Okay? But every human being is created in the image of God, who express God's loves to all creation, meaning that we can also express our love and empathy to others. The problem is not about our ability. The problem is about our willingness.
Okay. The point is the willingness itu ya. Mr. Yoas, there's a question again from Chloe. From Chloe, she have two questions. First is, how do we flourish if we cannot accept our brokenness? And second, how if we also somehow God for our brokenness?
Can you repeat again the second one?
How if we also somehow God for our brokenness?
For God?
Somehow God for our brokenness.
I don't get it. Okay, let me. How can I read the question?
I think the question. So my question.
Okay, great. Yes,
okay,
please.
Thank you, please.
So yeah, no problem. My question was, how do we flourish if we cannot accept our brokenness?
Okay, I got that point.
And then Amy, sorry, hold on. And then Amy from GKT said she has the same question, but how do you flourish if somehow you blame God for your brokenness and you can't accept it?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Chloe, and yeah. So one requirement for us to flourish in our life is not when we are able to avoid, to get rid of our brokenness and vulnerability, but precisely when you can accept your vulnerability, when you can recognize that I am broken person, then suddenly your brokenness becomes, fertile soil for the seed of love from God, so that it can flourish precisely within in your brokenness and vulnerability. And that is the most fundamental problems in our world nowadays, because people are trying to avoid their fragility. They are trying to say that I am okay, so now I'm ready to flourish. No, that's wrong. And in the gospel, we always learn that we can flourish because we are nobody, but then God said, you are somebody in my eyes. So you might remember what Jesus say, unless a seed, go into the soil and die, it cannot give, fruit abundantly. You know that verse, right? In other words, we have to be broken, we have to die in order for us to flourish. And because of that, so many people also blame God for what happened in his or her life, because they have to live in their disabilities. For example, they cannot see, they cannot hear, they cannot walk like others. Then they cannot see the grace of God within that disability, and they cannot flourish because of that kind of blaming God and blaming self. So one thing that you have to start with is embrace your weakness, embrace your vulnerability, and look at Jesus, who was also weak as human being, crucified, died for us, and from his death, we can receive salvation and also our fullness of life. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yoas.
Mhm.
And then, oh, there is many question for you, Mr. Yoas.
Okay. The
From
problem.
Elin Malelak,
Okay.
Malelak, I don't know how to spell it. From GK Rungkut. What are easy steps for young people to realize their vulnerabilities, since young people nowadays tend to live in such a competitive lifestyle, craving for recognition? Then, how can a young person flourish and celebrate in such condition? This is clear, Mr. Yos?
No. What is the easy path?
I don't know. Maybe Elin Malarek can explain the question. From
Okay,
GK
okay.
Rungkut.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, my question is as a hello.
Yes.
Hi, Pak
Yes.
Joas.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My
Thank you.
question, yes, my question is how we see. I'm a teacher, that's why I see the young people live in such a competitive lifestyle, so they cannot. How I'm asking about what are an easy steps for young people to accept their vulnerability and flourish in this kind of condition that they tend to compete with this lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for your question. Very very important question. We know that young people now are living in a very competitive, but also they have a very real problem of peer pressure, right? When they see their other friends using the same expensive watch than or cell phone, then they think that they have to have the same cell phone and others. So peer pressures is a real issue now. Uh, uh, Sadly, it also happens in our church, in our faith community. Okay. So I guess this is not only a problem of how they they have to leave their bad group, but also how they can be nurtured within a good community. And I believe the church is potential to be that kind of community. The problem is that sometimes the church is precisely the place where the young people, cannot accept their vulnerability. Unfortunately, I see in many places, in many churches in Indonesia, for example, where people with disability are bullied by their friends in the community, even by the older people in the church. So the church is not the place where they can be themselves. They can accept who they are. Okay, so I think leave that church, find another place, or fight for a better church in your community. Because I believe that our faith community, our church, must be the place where people, can become themselves, can grow naturally, can accept their uniqueness, their difference, their brokenness, no matter what. And nobody in the church can say that you are wrong, that you are weird. Okay, that's my idea. So I have been a pastor for the last 25 years, and one fight that I have been doing until now is to create a community of faith where people can become themselves. No bullying in the church. instead, we can create an environment where everybody can do whatever they want. Okay, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Follow
Is
up
it
boleh
clear?
nggak? Follow up boleh nggak?
Sure.
So if everybody, kalau semuanya orang jadi seperti itu, Pak. Jadi be themselves. Nah, tata gereja dan order kan berantakan, Pak. Terima kasih.
Well, the problem is that tata gereja is the law of the church. It's not the Bible, even not God. Okay, the tata gereja is created by vulnerable people, and I know them. Okay, tata gereja is not perfect. So if the tata gereja is trying to create a false you, a fake you, then it is a bad tata gereja. Tata gereja needs to be, a guiding document, guiding you to grow, to nurture yourself, to imitate Christ, not to impose, certain laws. This is the behavior that you have to do, and so forth. If that's the case, then tata gereja is just like, Torah, the law in the Old Testament, and that's bad. But that is not tata gereja exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, we can discuss a lot about there more, of course.
Yeah. Well, there is much that the church must to do, I think. This is a good question, I think. Is singing depressive songs from Billie Eilish is celebrating vulnerability or not?
Well, good question. The problem is that I don't know the song.
Maybe another song. Depressive songs is celebrating vulnerability or not?
Well, yeah, depressive, you mean? Oh, okay. 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 Nowadays, there are so many young people living with depression, anxiety, and even, suicidal thought. I don't know why, but one thing that I know is that the world is trying to change them. The parents, the elders, they don't try to understand the young people. They don't try to accept who they are in their uniqueness. Therefore, that's why, they're depressed. That's why they live in their anxiety, and even they try to end their own lives. And those mental problems are expressed in so many poems right now, popular songs. They are an expression of what we are experiencing as young people. So I talk with many young people who have depression and even try to end their lives. And one thing that we have to do firstly is just to listen to them, listen to their inner struggle, listen to their disappointment, listen to their mental issue, their anxiety, and so forth. And unfortunately, the community of faith now sometimes becomes the place where perfect people comes and worship God. And they forgot that they are imperfect and vulnerable. So for those who are struggling with depression and anxiety and even suicidal thought, I want from the bottom of my heart say to you, you are precious, you are valuable. Keep on keeping on, keep on struggling. It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay if everybody cannot understand you. It's okay to isolate yourself from others for a while, to enjoy your me time, and to ask God for guidance in such a miserable world. It's okay not to be okay, and 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 I hope that you will find a good community that can accept you who you are. That's my message to those who are struggling with depression. Yeah, you can express your day by composing a song or a poem or whatever. You can
maybe.
Yeah, you can listen to that depressing song, but then you have to struggle. You have to fight. That's my message. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your message. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Yeah.
And Ramos, I think I have to go now.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
Sure.
I know.
Martin told you that I have a thesis defense.
Yes,
right now.
I know you're very busy now. It's okay, Mr. Yas. It's okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm so sorry for many questions is not to be answered from Mr. Yoas. So maybe you can chat personal at.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your Instagram, Mr. Yoas?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you, everybody.
Okay, give applause for Mr.
Enjoy
Yoas,
this session together.
Yeah, good luck,
okay.
Mr. Yoas.
And enjoy the rest of your program. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Yeah. Well, I don't know how to answer many questions because I'm not Yoas Adiprastia. So I hope you are yeah, I hope you learn a lot from this section. As you all know, this section is an opening for us to enter into the next 3 days of seminars. So today's lesson is an important foundation for all of us. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And I'm so sorry if I wrong spell or anything. So I will return again to MC, Map, and Satria.
Okay, thank you so much, Ramos.
Yes.
You did a great job today. Applause for you. Yay.
It's difficult, you know. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, back to my turn. Okay, guys, wow. It was a great explanation from Mr. Joas, and also, of course, a lot of great questions. But unfortunately, Mr. Joas have to go, so not every question can be answered. But for sure, you can ask him directly from his Instagram or message. If you still want to ask personally, you can ask his contact from committee. Okay. Wow. I have many notes here. Really, I hope we can get a lot of point and learn how to be grateful about whatever we have. Not only about body, but from body we can learn to be grateful about everything. Okay, now back to the sharing section because I still wondering and want to listen the story from Javris and Tiana's story. So for the first on my list, bam, 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 I want to hear from, okay, wrong spell, Jeffrey. Yeah, I want to hear the story from Jeffrey. Jeffrey, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here with you guys. Do you hear me?
Clearly. Okay. Okay, Jeffrey, what I want to ask you, okay, let me introduce myself. You can call me Map, like Google Map or something. Okay. I will be your master of ceremony here and during this conference. Okay, my question is, it's just about the story. Would you mind to let us know about the situation around your in your community during this situation? I believe that it is a very hard situation during this pandemic. Maybe you share with us the condition around you, please? Your time.
Yeah. So so yes, you'll hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yes, clearly.
Yes.
Reaching to 2000K, and we have recorded nearly 11 deaths only so far. And the people are suffering with lack of job opportunities, especially the middle class and the lower class. The politicians really keep quiet and they try to really profit out of this situation, even in this worst situation. So that's so unfortunate for us.
So, you still have time if you want to tell us more.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to share about the issue which is going on right now, and the election is on the way in Sri Lanka. So the airport and they're trying to open, benefiting political sides.
So, what about the pandemic? Is everyone there is not getting panic or scared or something? Sorry, could you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay. Let me repeat it, yeah. So is
Yes, please.
everyone there is not scared or panic or something about the pandemic?
There are a less group in Sri Lanka, like the middle class who really scared of their jobs. Who most of them who have left their job, they had to leave the job, and especially the who lives in daily basis.
What about your own life? Is it make it different or something? And from your own life, for your own life, is it make any different?
Yeah, living away from our home country, it's a big difference. And the first experience for me to live out of my own country for so long time. It's been like 6, 7 months living in UAE, working here, and I had to face this incident suddenly.
Okay, yeah, I believe that this situation is very hard for everyone here, everywhere around the world. So I hope you get a very good condition, whatever the condition, your family. I hope you have a good health. Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Give applause to Jeffrey, please.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now the next list. Jeng 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 jeng. Tania. Tania.
Hi,
Tania. Hello, Tania.
do you hear me?
Clearly. Okay, now, yeah, it's not so far question from Jeffrey. Please, would you tell us, just like last time, the updates, of course, yeah, it's been a week since the first question asked. So maybe there's something, the situation in your area, in your own life. So during the pandemic, or there's something new that happening there. Your time, please.
Okay, so actually in Thailand it's not that dangerous like in Europe or somewhere like a cold, because I think because in Thailand we are quite hot, so the virus is not grow that they should be. Okay, so yeah, we will have a lockdown and the transport like an airplane and the bus is were closing, and people have to stay at home. They can't go back home in another um, place, or and we and we and many people they have to take a gap for their job in Indonesia also.
Yeah, many people losing jobs here.
They have to take a gap and exactly have no salary. So some not just lack, but some they have to lose the job. And many people come to outside during lockdown to ask for food. Is actually happening. And some people they lost their house because they can't pay for a rent anymore because they lost their job. It's quite bad. Yeah. And about the number for people who were the pattern is around 3,000 and more. And I
Okay.
think that they might have more than 3,000, but they don't go to hospital to check their health because the price for check COVID-19 is quite expensive.
Okay, so during this situation, uh, is Thailand government do something for the poor, for the people who lose their job? Sorry, your speaker. You are mute. You are mute. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Actually, I think they thought they did, but it's not point to the population directly. I mean, what they offer for them is not useful that they should be. Do you understand that point? Something they offer for the people is not arrive at the it's not reach to the people who need it at all.
Okay.
I mean, for example, they have like the policy and to lock down, and they offers the money for people who lack a job, but the money doesn't go direct to the people, and some don't reach to the people who really need it, but they don't receive it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I don't want to say the word.
Sorry?
I know what you mean, but I don't want to say the word.
Yeah. It's quite sensitive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what the government offer is not that useful. For my opinion.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, from your opinion, seems like not so far with Indonesian. Okay, thank you so much, Tania. We'll we still want to hear your voice next time, yeah. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Okay, so guys, do you get the point that even in Sri Lanka or in Thailand, there's a little bit same lah with Indonesian. So whatever the condition is, we just need to be grateful. Wow, it's a good day with a very good discussion. Okay, guys, for now, I want to remind you about the tomorrow's schedule. Okay, wait, let me open up my notes. Okay, the next meeting will be held in Saturday, June 27, 2020 in Indonesian time. So it will be Friday in the United States, in California. Okay, in the next meeting, we'll learn about economy and ecology post-pandemic. The theme will be told by the speakers. The speaker will be two person here. It will be Pastor Yahya and Mrs. Pamela. So just don't forget to attend to the next conference. Make sure you are in a comfortable place and just don't be late. If you are suggested to come 10 minutes before, maybe you better come in 15 minutes before or longer, so we can make a chit chat before the conference. Okay, now this conference today has ended. So yeah, you can see in the screen that will be our speakers for the next meeting, Pastor Yahya and Mrs. Pamela. Yeah, okay, it's going to be an end for today. Thank you so much for joining with us. We'll close today, and wait, don't forget to discuss it with your group, and your facilitator will lead you to some dialogue or discussion next time. Okay, just make sure you are there and ask everything to your facilitator. Your facilitator is great. Okay, guys, for this closing session, I will close this session and let me pray for you. Okay, let us pray. God, thank you for everything that happened in our life. During the happiness, during the sadness, in every moment, you are staying with us. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for giving us chance to come to this conference. Please lead us about whatever we have learned today. Bring something different to us, to our life, so we can share the value to the others we love and loves us. Thanks God, we are a weak person, so we need you so much. Amen. Okay, seems like the conference today is going to an end, and yeah, it's not going to an end, it's the end of the conference today. So I want to give the time back to the committee. Committee, please.
We can end the Zoom now and just join the meeting with our facilitator. That's all. Thank you, Kamal. Goodbye, everyone. See you in 27th of June.
Thank you.
Make sure you are there.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Maaf.
Mana map masih ada emang?
Ini masih berlanjut atau sudah ini?
Sudah, Kak.
Udah.
Udah ya.
It is.
Oke deh.
Yeah, it is